In this video, we're talking about common mistakes that people make with their dogs. I'm going to give you 3 real stories, 3 real sets of circumstances, so you can learn from the mistakes that these people made, and hopefully you can avoid them. All right, let's get into it. You ready, Sats? Speak! Let's go. Okay, our first story is, yikes, I'm having a baby. Last year a lady rang me. She said she's having a real problem with her dog. Jumps, pulls, doesn't come back in the park. A lot of very common adolescent problems. So I said, okay, how old's your dog? She said it's 18 months old and she's done no training at all. And she was having a baby, I nearly stood on the crab, in the next week, for crying out loud. So here's the thing. Training is a process of input over time. You start with basics. You then extend those basics to get good solid foundations with your dog responding to sit and stay in the house, then outdoors, then with people, etc. Training takes input over time. You cannot train an 18-month-old dog in a week. Impossible. So that was a difficult one. I hope she did well. All right, let's keep going. Let me give you some context around this story. Start training early. If a dog was a fire, and a fire had 3 stages, a stage where it didn't exist, a stage where you saw smoke, or a stage when the fire was raging, at which point would you take action? A lot of people wait until the fire starts. Your best option is to take preventative measures and before the fire starts. It's really simple. Having a puppy is a lot like having a child. There's a lot of commonalities. They both learn very quickly when they're young. They also change very quickly too. Now, when you have a child, you send them to school, and the people that teach your child to read and write are people called teachers, and these people are trained in the art of teaching people things. I do not know how to teach a child to read and write. Do you? So when we get a puppy, the big difference is we are the teachers. We need to learn how to understand our puppy, understand how to communicate with them, and understand how to teach them things. Now, a lot of us think we know how to do these things, and some of us do and some of us don't. But there's sometimes a lot of better ways that you can do things. And the underpinning thing is here, you need to learn how to communicate. And that takes us into our next story. I've said no 1,000 times and he just doesn't get it. Let's go. Okay guys, welcome back. So, bit of fun happening in the background here. I'll try and record while it's going on. This story is about communication. I've said no 1,000 times and he just doesn't get it. This is a really common problem that I come across. People don't know how to communicate with their dogs. Dogs don't speak English. Let me give you an example. If I asked you to do something and it was in a language that you did not understand, you would not know what to do. Okay, so if you speak French, I apologise, and if you don't, you won't know what I'm talking about anyway. So, assis. 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 So this is commonly what happens with owners. They say a word at their dog and they point at them with an angry face. The dog does not understand what they're talking about because they don't speak English. So what you need to use is a gesture. And the gesture I would use to someone for them to sit down is, please, come and sit down. And I go, okay, let's go. And there you go, you sit down. So dogs don't speak English. We need to learn how to communicate with our dogs. So I use this gesture for sit. I use this gesture for come. I use gestures for everything. Watch the video up there called How to Communicate with Your Dog for more info on that. All right, let's keep going. Our last story is all about the sofa. Oh my God, my sofa. Now, there's a lot more to this story than meets the eye. It's not just about the sofa, it was about what was going on around the sofa. A lady rang me, sounded like quite a nice lady, a little bit stressed, saying she was having problems with her dogs chewing up her sofa. So I said, okay, tell me a little bit more. How old are your dogs? She said, oh, they're about 8 months old. I said, okay, what sort of dogs are they? They're American bulldogs. And I went, okay, how often do you take them out for a walk? She goes, I can't walk them anymore. I said, what do you mean? She goes, they're too big, I can't control them. They weigh over 50 kilos each. Serious? I don't know what the average weight of a woman is, but I weigh 72 kilos and I wouldn't walk 2 50-kilo dogs that hadn't been well socialised and hadn't been trained at all. So what she did was she couldn't walk the dog, so she'd leave them in the house all day while she went to work. And they would sit on the sofa and they wouldn't let her on the sofa. They're both males, 8 months, and just kicking off with their testosterone. And because they were so bored, they just sat around all day and chomped up the sofa. So there you go. The moral of this story is do a bit of research. Don't just buy a cute puppy. You can Google American Bulldog and in 2 seconds you'll find out a male adult weight is about 58 kilos. Anyway, there you go. All right guys, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please like, subscribe, leave me a comment. If you subscribe, you find out when new videos are coming out. All right, thanks for watching. Catch you later.